Okay, in this video, we're going to use the checklist. Okay, the checklist is an organizational tool that's available in D2L. Okay, you have to create the checklist for your students, but then it's up to your students to manually use the checklist to help keep them organized. Okay, so you don't have to create this, but sometimes kids use it and it helps from an organizational standpoint. It also allows you to easily push out due dates to the calendar. That's part of the reason why I use it as well, is it spits out those due dates. Okay. So in your checklist, you need to create a new checklist. The checklist that you do is I usually do it by unit. So I do unit 1. If you would like, you can put a description in here for your checklist. I never write the description. It just sets it up there for me, and I'm going to click save. Okay, then I'm now inside this checklist. I don't have any categories. I don't have any items. Now, you don't have to necessarily create categories. You would have to create items in order to generate the checklist. Categories would be how you group things. So, for example, if you do discussions and you want to group your checklist by discussions, you should create a discussion category. If you want to do it by assignments, you can create assignments. Maybe you do worksheets and you want to have a worksheet thing. I traditionally do activities, discussions, and assignments. That's how I most of the time organize my courses. Okay, so now I have these 3 categories: activities, discussions, and assignments. Okay, now we're going to create an item. So in here, I can go ahead and I can create an item, and it gives me give me the category. I'm going to have this. I'm going to put discussion 2, I think it was, introductory discussion. Okay, we've created this before. You can have a due date now down here. You can put the due date and then it'll display it in the calendar. That'll put through the calendar on the home page. So if I click save and new, I have that. I'm going to put a new one. I'm going to put the assignment, and I put assignment 1, introductory assignment. I think we made that same thing. You can have a due date and you can display it in the calendar, and then you're going to click save, and you're still inside the checklist. Okay, so you have control over pushing this checklist out to everybody. What it looks like in the menus, if I click the discussion thing, here's unit 1, here's the checklist. This is what it looks like to you. Okay, it looks different to the student. So what happens is, just to clarify, up here we now have the due dates here. Okay, so that's an easy way to push it out on the calendar. For the student, if I view as a student here, okay, this is what the student sees. So the student still sees all the due dates because you push them out. Their checklist is different. So when I go in their checklist, this is what they have. They have unit 1, and they have 0 out of 2 items complete. The reason they have 0 out of 2 items complete is I haven't checked anything off yet. Okay, so I would have to go in here as a student. I can't make any changes to this. Okay, notice that the due date right now is in blue. If it gets past the due date, this due date will become red. Okay, but I could go in here and I could check this off. Yeah, I did that discussion. I click save. When I go back to the checklist, I now have 1 out of 2 items complete. So again, this is just an organizational tool that helps the students. Okay, it can help you as well from a pushing it out to the calendar standpoint. Not a huge time commitment to set these up. How you organize them is up to you again. Okay, but it is just another tool that's available from an organizational standpoint. That's part of the reason that I put it in my navigation menu. Okay, so if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know.